Harry loses the plot. The Duke of Sussex's first day in the witness stand in his needless and bitter war against the Daily Mail newspaper was a complete disaster. The guy is a hot mess, attacking the royal family, once again playing the victim card. Poor me, the world's least happy millionaire.
Prince Harry's ongoing courtroom drama has taken a turn so shocking, even the most ardent royal watchers couldn't have predicted it. The Duke of Sussex's first day on the witness stand was a total disaster, but this wasn't just about a legal fight. This was a complete breakdown of his carefully crafted narrative, and it played out in front of the entire world. With every word, Harry seemed to dig himself deeper, and it wasn't long before his own words, yes, his own book came back to haunt him in ways no one could have expected. Harry's book, Spare, was meant to be his chance at redemption. A tell-all memoir, the book was marketed as the ultimate truth, the definitive account of his life and struggles, especially his fallout with the royal family. He claimed it would clear up misunderstandings and offer...
There was a reason Meghan Markle didn't want Prince Harry to go to war with the Daily Mail, and today we now understand why.
Harry is quite delusional. I believe that he behaves like an immature teenager that is still throwing one big epic tantrum. He's not listening.
Radar Online says Prince Harry is now so deeply unhappy in California, he's intent on quitting his life in the United States, with sources telling Radar he's now homesick. A lost Duke who feels stalled, isolated, and desperate to reclaim a sense of purpose away from Hollywood.
Insight into his journey as a royal outsider. Instead, it's become the very thing that's undoing him. The Daily Mail, a publication Harry is currently suing, wasted no time in pulling quotes from Spare to use against him in the courtroom. What Harry failed to realize was that once you put something in print, it's permanent, especially when it's under oath. What Harry thought would be his salvation is now his downfall. The court hearing started with Harry trying to present himself as the victim, yet the moment he sat in the witness box, the cracks started to show. Harry began the day by lashing out at the Daily Mail's legal team, getting into a heated argument with their lawyer, which immediately set the tone for what was to come. His performance in the witness stand was far from dignified. He came across as defensive, contradictory, and frankly unprepared.
Devastating moment for Prince Harry's reputation and credibility, as he argues with a judge while in the dock, contradicts himself, appears to fib about using the pseudonym Mr. Mischief.
So when I was in court for Prince Harry's case on Monday, I thought that I saw the woman who I understand to be Prince Harry's alleged stalker, so-called stalker, lined up outside courtroom 76 trying to get access after lunch on day one when his team were laying out his case.
That Harry, as part of his concession to the King in order to return, will not launch any new legal actions against the UK press.
But nothing could have prepared him for the bombshell that dropped. His memoir was read aloud in the courtroom, and his own words, written for public consumption, were now being used to dismantle his case. But this wasn't just a legal case. This was about Harry's personal life being laid bare. Enter Chelsea Davy, Harry's ex-girlfriend, who became an unexpected central figure in this entire courtroom drama. For years, Chelsea Davy had maintained a relatively low profile, choosing to live a life far removed from the constant media circus that Harry and Meghan Markle seem to thrive in. But now, Chelsea is right back in the headlines, thanks to Harry's lawsuit against the Daily Mail. In what can only be described as an intensely personal moment, details about Harry and Chelsea's relationship were read aloud in court.
Big trouble with the judge for yelling at the Daily Mail's main lawyer. Harry is out of control. He hates accountability, and his performance in the witness stand today was absolutely wild.
They spoke about their private conversations, their romantic trips, and even the places Harry preferred to sleep when they were together. Harry's face went pale as these intimate details of his past were revealed to the world. Chelsea, the woman he once called his true love, is now being dragged into a public legal battle that she likely never wanted to be part of. And the most striking part, Chelsea had moved on years ago, living a quiet, successful life with a new husband and children, far from the limelight. Meanwhile, Harry's life is unraveling right in front of him, and Meghan is watching from the sidelines. Hair quote, where things get truly interesting: Meghan's reaction to this bombshell. While Harry is testifying in court, reminiscing about the one woman who represents everything he once wanted: a private, dignified life, free from constant media attention, Meghan is stuck in California, facing the fact that Harry is opening old wounds. For years, Meghan has been the one leaking stories to the press, but Chelsea, she lived her life with dignity, never once turning her personal experiences into a media spectacle.
Harry's relationship with Chelsea Davy, the true love of his life, front and centre at the High Court on day 2 of this explosive case between the delusional Duke and the Daily Mail newspaper. Lots of details about their romance being discussed as Harry's facial expressions were judged in intimate detail. Now, it was telling that when Harry arrived for day 2 of this bombshell case today, an independent journalist asked him about free speech, and he conveniently chose to ignore it.
It's a stark contrast that's not lost on anyone, especially not Meghan. But the real humiliation for Harry came when the judge, Justice Matthew Nicholan, publicly rebuked him in front of everyone in the courtroom. This wasn't some private moment, this was a public reprimand from the judge, and it couldn't have been more embarrassing for Harry. Harry, in his usual style, tried to argue, justify, and explain himself, but the judge quickly cut him off, reminding him that his role in the courtroom was simply to answer the questions, not to argue.
Imogen James from inside the High Court reported it contains specific and intimate details of his private life and relationship with Chelsea Davy, Sherborne says. One line says Harry was a regular fixture at Davy's house. The article also includes their plans as a couple and the Duke's preferences of where he likes to spend the night. Prince Harry says this is highly sensitive information in his witness statement. Sherborne says Prince Harry's evidence is absolutely firm that it couldn't have come from another person other than Davy or him, and neither of them shared this. This could not have conceivably have come from a legitimate source, Sherborne.
But Harry couldn't stop himself. He became defensive and abrasive, continuously interrupting proceedings. The judge had to intervene multiple times to try and calm him down, and with every intervention, Harry's credibility seemed to slip further away. As the day wore on, it became increasingly clear that Harry had no understanding of how courts function. He was treating the court like a stage for his personal drama, interrupting, talking over the lawyers, and generally failing to follow basic courtroom protocol. It was humiliating to watch a man who once had it all, now reduced to a hot mess in front of a judge, the press, and the world. But this wasn't just about Harry's lack of courtroom etiquette, it was about his relationship with his family. While Harry was in court, the rest of the royal family remained silent.